What's up, guys? Hey, I'm here with my buddy Dan Rivers. How are you, buddy?
Good, man.
Good to see you, man. And we are back at the Helm. So the Helm is a co-working office space that we took you through maybe like a year ago, I think, and when this was just a shell, and they were doing a bunch of work to it. And the cool thing about what you guys did here is you're like, we need office space for ourselves. Yeah. And you were able to take the front building and then this back building and say, how do we turn a liability, right? Because if you have your own office, you're spending money and you know, shelling out cash every single month, and you're like, how can we turn this into an actual asset instead of a liability, where you're getting other tenants in here who pay majority of the mortgage and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. And then you took it a step further and turned it into like this collaborative space of entrepreneurs where you have events going on here and all this cool stuff. So tell us a little bit about what the vision was and what some of the roadblocks were that you guys had to overcome.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, roadblocks, plenty of those. So it started off, I think we were having a cigar. It's me and Dusty having a cigar, and I'm like, wouldn't it be really cool to have an office building that we have a co-working spot of just entrepreneurs in there talking $1 million ideas? And we were just, and Dusty's like, let's do, you know, Dusty, he's like, let's do it.
Yeah.
So he's like, just find a spot.
Dusty's a yes man.
Yeah.
You need more Dustys in your life.
Yes, you do. You do. It's like, let's do it. Let's make it happen. So this is back in 2021. Yeah. So we bought this building February 2022. Pro and con there.
Yep.
So I found this building, I found the back warehouse, and we were like, all right, originally we were like, let's just rent the back warehouse like a roofing company or something, make a little extra money, and have our office space out there. And then we realized, hey, about halfway into it, we were like, screw renting this out to a roofing company. Why don't we make this a co-working space for investors and just make this a lot bigger thing than we originally thought?
Yeah.
So that's kind of like how it grew. But I will tell you, we bought it in 2022, and it took over 2 full years to finally make the vision come true. I mean, It was a nightmare. Yeah, it was tough.
What was the bottleneck? What was the issue?
All right, so contractor, first of all. So not having the right contractors, just, you know, not pulling they're pulling permits and everything, but they just, whatever they were doing, it just delayed everything. They weren't doing it properly. We were failing inspections. So we had to get rid of that contractor, bring in a new contractor that actually understands this type of build out and development. So that took some time. Number 2, just like everything in real estate, we thought we were going to put about $300,000 of our own money into it. I think we're in for $650 right now. So yeah, it cost a lot more money.
That's how
so
works.
That as well, obviously, you know, slowed things down a little bit. But a lot of it had to do with contracting, and then just the city, just hurdles with the city of trying to get through permitting and different inspections and getting us to the spot that we're in now. Yeah.
No, man, I love it. So what would you do differently with contractors? Because this is a recurring theme across the country, regardless of what market you're in. There's so many dipshit contractors out there that give a bad name to the great contractors. Mm-hmm. How do you get past the dipshit contractors and find the good contractors?
I think one of the things that we've realized is, you know, we go out and we bid, we try to get a few contractors that need to work within our budget. And it depends on what that budget is, but 9 times out of 10, if we're trying to get that little bit of a cheaper contractor, say, hey, this is, you know, keep the money where we want to be at, that contractor's just, we've been having them fail on us. Like, they're just not as good as, hey, we might as well just pay the 15% more for the contractor that has the good name. We know they're going to hit their timelines, because at the end of the day, if we got this done in a year rather than 2 years, that net difference in the price we would have paid them, we would have made up in income. So,
I mean that is the multi-million-dollar epiphany when you're dealing with contractors. Everybody goes after price.
Yep.
The timeline with contractors is far more important, keeping them to a certain timeline, than the actual price, right?
Yep.
Like, imagine, you know, for easy numbers, imagine you're renovating a 10-unit apartment building and you got $1,000 a month per unit. That's $10,000 a month in rent that you should be generating. If you go to that contractor and they take 12 months to renovate that building instead of 8 months, you're talking about 4 months or $40,000 of revenue that you're losing out on, and the peace of mind of not having a stable property. Your investors are asking you more questions. The bank's trying to figure out what's going on. And you can't move on to the next project because this one's still going on. And so it creates so many constraints on you by not getting the project done earlier. And you were trying to save $30,000, right? Well, guess what? If you would have went with your other contractor, you would have saved $40,000 just or overall netted $10,000, but also had the peace of mind of being done 4 months sooner, having a stabilized property, being able to refinance it and move on to the next deal. And that velocity of not only capital, but also velocity on your time and the velocity on your brain and your bandwidth dude, that is how you really get a lot of momentum in business, right? And so when you're dealing with a project for multiple years and it's just beating the shit out of you nonstop,
Yep.
dude, it starts taking a toll on your confidence and you're like, what am I doing? And then you don't have these other wins happening. So it's more important the timelines than anything else.
Yeah, and I got to tell you, you mentioned a really good point because I don't think this is stressed enough. It's freeing up your space in your mind to do something else. Like,
Yes.
I don't know how many times I probably might progress
How many times
slower.
you wake up, man? It's
Yeah.
like, wake up, like, I can't get sleep at night because I'm thinking about this.
Yep. Yeah. Just other projects I could think of, like all the nightmare projects. They take up so much headspace, and Jake always gives me shit for this, but we talk about it. I'm like, hey, just sell the property. I don't care if we make 20 grand less. Just move it. And he's like, what are you talking about? We could squeeze a little bit more money. I'm like, it's on my head too much. I'm waking up at 4:30 in the morning sending emails this morning about stuff that I don't want to have to deal with. So like, freeing up your mind on projects that are weighing you down is so valuable that I didn't understand until, 3, 4, 5 years into doing this.
Yeah, about 8-9 months ago, my big thing was like fire fast. You hear it with employees or, toxic people in your life, like not just somebody who's not getting the job done on your team or like a joint venture partner, but dude, fire fast bad properties, fire fast bad contractors, fire fast bad property management companies, fire fast across all that stuff, because it's like it's like that girl in high school who dated the asshole guy. They're like, I can change him, right? Well, I can work. Dude, no, that's who they are. Yep. That's what they stand for. That's their culture and their core values. They're a bad management company. They're a bad contractor. It's a bad deal in a shitty area. You're much better off firing fast and moving on and finding the good contractor, the good management company, instead of trying to fix through some of these things. And it's like ripping off a Band-Aid, but dude, as soon as you rip it off, you're like, oh my God, it was not nearly as bad as I thought it was. And I feel 1,000 times better.
Oh, I've had to do that several times this year, and it feels so much better.
It is.
Yeah.
So let's go inside. I'd love to see what the finished product looks like.
Yeah, let's go warm up.
Oh, dude, this place is beautiful.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Came out great. It doesn't feel like a warehouse in any capacity. It's warm, cozy, welcoming.
I think you were here when we first, when this was a shell. I don't know if you remember, but in the middle here, we had a bunch of plywood, and there was almost like rooms throughout the middle here built with plywood. It was just really shoddy work. So at first, our vision was basically take this entire side and rent like this half out to like a roofing company and have a small area for us. And then, as I mentioned, we were just about to sign a lease. Dusty Witt and I, both my partners, we said, hey, scratch that. Let's just turn this into an awesome place for everybody to hang out, co-work. There are 26 different co-working spaces in here. And we're going to expand upon that more as we grow. But as you can see, from lounge areas to desk to, high tops to a kitchen area over here. But so the original vision was just rent half of it out and make it a small kind of co-working space, and then, go big or go home. Let's just make this into something that's absolutely phenomenal and
Well,
cool
obviously,
to come hang out at.
it's way nicer and way more finished than what a roofing contractor would need.
Yep.
From an ROI standpoint, did you guys do the math of like, if we did nothing to it and just rented it out as almost like a, your responsibility, not triple net because they're not paying taxes and stuff, but say, hey, here's the flat rental rate for the roofing contractor to come in, and you don't have to do any work or minimal work on it. What did that ROI look like versus all the work you guys put in, but how much more revenue are you guys making? Did you guys do like a little math equation on that?
We did, and it was a couple years ago, so I don't remember exactly what it was.
Yeah.
But we would make, I want to say maybe $1,000 or $1,500 a month after all expenses paid. Like the front office done, this back building, all expenses, we'd make about, I want to say it was between $1,000 and $2,000, somewhere in that range if we rented it to a roofer. So by doing it this way, obviously it costs a little bit more because you can see we put a lot into it. When we get maxed out, we're probably going to have about 40 members. It's probably going to be a sweet spot where we're going to hit, and that should bring in roughly $10,000, $11,000 a month in revenue.
Yeah,
so
it's amazing.
Yeah.
So let's do a tour.
Yeah, let's look. So here we have 2 bathrooms. So I'm going to give a shout out to Witt, by the way. Witt and his wife Haley did all the design here. They have color palettes. They're the reasons why this place looks so amazing.
Yeah.
Has nothing to do with me. I found the property. That's about it.
Dude, I like this so much. I sent him an email after I was here for the lunch and learn, and I was like, dude, what are the colors? Because I'm going to use these colors
Yeah.
in some of my properties. And he sent me all the color palettes.
Yeah, I mean, he's very detailed.
Yeah.
He's got all his color palettes and everything. But we have the 2 bathrooms here. It's kind of cool. This one has a shower. So I know I actually just went to the gym today. Me and a couple people, probably only a few people that use it, but we were able to go to the gym, come shower.
I love it.
Get to work. But yeah, so the 2 bathrooms here.
Talk about the lights.
Yeah, I was just going to mention that. The cool thing is every room has a light on the outside that if someone's in the room, that light will go on so that people know, hey, when we talk about the podcast room and the other rooms, people know someone's in there. So
Love it.
It's pretty cool. It's all connected. But this is one of the best features. I'm not going to be able to do it right now. We got the bar stools in the way.
We're going to do it.
We're going to move it? Okay. Let's make it happen.
It's too good of a feature not
Yeah,
to show.
this is really cool. Again, I'll give a shout out to Whit. He came up with this one. But basically, this is for any events that we're having, whether someone wants to host their own event or we're having an event. We have a sliding bar so that we could, proper latches, so that we could now have, whatever you want. You can hire a catering service or bartender, and you can have an event in here, or we can host events. So
Love it.
this is pretty
Love
cool
it.
because it's, we got the French doors right there, so it's easy access for them to come in.
Dude, Witt's ideas and your money, man. You guys could do some really amazing things here, huh?
We all came up with good ideas. Dusty's the one who came up with the helm.
Okay.
So we were spitballing ideas on like what we wanted to call it, and the helm, because at the helm you steer the ship. So the whole point was, and that's why, as you could see in here, it's a nautical theme.
Captain calling the shots.
Captain, yeah.
And then are these the coordinates of Charleston, South Carolina?
This is the coordinates of here.
That's cool.
So yeah, it's really cool. So that's the helm, the coordinates of here, and we have 3 murals. The one out front that we saw when we were talking, this one, and then we'll see a side mural that the same muralist came in and painted all 3 of them.
That's neat.
Yeah, it's pretty
That's
awesome.
man.
Yeah. But
Kitchen's great. All stocked up.
awesome coffee maker.
There's no drinking at this establishment, though,
No.
right? No drinking.
You got all the Miller Lights in there?
What? Yeah, look at all the Miller Lights. Somebody's thirsty. It's bottles and bottles and bottles of wine.
There's usually a couple high-rise in there too, so.
Yeah.
Find out what kind of day it's going to be.
I love it.
But yep, it's the kitchen area. And as you can see, we have different types, as I mentioned, of work areas because I personally like to just sit down on a comfy chair and work each day, but some people have to, break out their laptops, have meetings. Gives it a lot of just different feels. This is pretty cool. It's the conference area. Yeah, so it's the conference room. You can connect to any computer remotely, or we do have USB cords for people like myself that's not technologically savvy, but sits 12. This is, just this table alone did a good job finding this hard oak.
Dude, these mirrors are awesome too.
But yeah, again, that nautical theme kind of goes in here.
That's cool.
This was cool too. We had a bunch of like 1x strips, so we just made it look like a nice wainscoting around here.
It looks great.
But yeah, as you can see too, kind of like the nautical theme with the rope.
You know what that means when you see a house with that around the trim in Charleston?
Around there?
It means they were a merchant.
Really?
They were a sea merchant.
Oh, cool.
So if you go around to the different historical homes in downtown Charleston, you'll see this around the front door as like the trim.
Okay.
And it's painted rope, and that means that they were like a sea merchant, made a bunch of their money out at navigating the seas and moving product back and forth from the old world to new world.
That's pretty cool. I didn't know that. So yeah, we used to be sea merchants here.
Yeah.
That's why we did that.
I love it.
So yep, there's a conference room. The cool thing is too, we have an app that all of our members get, and you could literally, all I had to use the conference room, you go on, you book it through the app, and as long as it's available, it's yours.
I love it. Dude, this is the room.
It's our favorite room right here. We should have put on one of the courses, but the golf simulator room, yeah. This is where all the big deals are done.
It's where the big ideas come.
Where the big ideas, the big deals.
A lot of aggravation. There's no holes in the wall yet.
Yes. That's why we have the side panels up there. But
Yeah.
no, honestly, this is awesome. We Dusty got a hole in one here.
Did you really?
On the Pebble Beach course, number 7. It was
Get
pretty
outta
cool.
here.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome. But yeah, honestly, this is really cool. Just sometimes, I don't know. You're probably like me. I can't just sit behind a computer all day long, or I need to move.
Yep.
So sometimes I'll just say like, hey Jake, let's go in here and just spitball ideas, or let's just talk about whatever, a couple projects we have going on. while we're hitting a few golf balls, playing 9 holes.
I love it.
It's just a different way. I don't know. To me, different environments help me think differently. So
I
that's why
agree,
we
man.
put
I'm
this
the
in
same
here.
way.
All right.
This is one of my other favorite features.
Yes. Podcast studio. Obviously, we've got to continue to build this out, but I'm excited for it. Like, we want to have a couple different areas. You have the table. You have kind of a couple chairs type of setting.
Yeah, seated area.
We may do a couch here. We got to do a couple more panels to help with a little bit of the echoing, but this is an area that I think can get a lot of value from a lot of people. If you want to shoot podcasts or social media posts or just separate meeting office, it's also used as that. Yeah. I'm excited of what this could be. We just need someone to help. Yep. And as you can see, there's just a few other areas. This one's pretty nice too as well. We also have Sonos system, rock some beats as we work. Oh no, they don't turn on.
These don't
You
turn.
thought these turn? Yeah. Maybe they do right there.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. It's like a mini USB
Yeah.
right there. I don't know what that is.
That's cool.
I don't know. Whit does all this
Got
fancy
some
stuff.
Sonos booming.
Yep.
Booming some music.
We also have a little outdoor area there. It's not huge, but we're going to add some picnic tables and a cover for next spring/summer.
I've never been out there.
Maybe even a grill.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah.
It's a decent size.
So I figure we'll clean all this up, a few picnic tables, and just make this kind of a lunch spot in the nice weather or hangout area. Maybe even do some cornhole.
Yeah.
Like I said, maybe a grill in the corner.
Oh yeah, man. Just trim these trees back. Throw some
Yeah.
cornhole bags right here.
Yep.
Like a little outdoor patio conversation couch.
We also got to do,
Smoke some
What is it?
stogies out here.
is it ping pong that Burton likes?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we got to get a ping pong table
Yeah,
in there.
dude, that's why he wanted to join.
Yeah, we got to
He's
get
like
a
ping
good
pong
one.
tournament. No. I was like, oh man.
We're down to put one in here. We got plenty of space. That's why we kind of left this open. Do we want
right here.
want more couches? Do we want a ping pong table? It's kind of like as we grow,
You put
we
the
want
ping
to
pong
see what the
table
need
up
is.
there,
Yeah, probably up there is going to be
And
the
then you
best.
just fold it up, man, and put it up against the wall.
Yep. And in the nice weather, you just pop that garage door open, which is awesome too. So it's got a lot of natural light, as you said, with the skylights, and it just from the outside when you're looking at it, it looks tiny. It doesn't look that big, and then when you walk in here, it's just
Yeah,
I
it's
think
massive.
it's 3,700 square feet.
It's massive.
It's a pretty big spot.
Well, dude, you guys did a great job here, man. It's absolutely beautiful. I'm proud to be a member and appreciate you giving us a tour.
Yeah, I appreciate you coming by.
If you guys want to check it out, reach out to Dan. If you're in the Charleston area, come and check out what membership looks like, because this is like where there's some players. You guys are doing all sorts of lunch and learns and all sorts of activities on a regular basis, right?
Yep. There's builders in here. There's hard money people. I mean, anything you need is going to be in this building. Yeah.
Yep. It's a great community of people who are moving and shaking in the area. So, great entrepreneurial accelerator if you are in the Charleston area. So come and check it out. The Helm. The other thing that you're talking about is not just monthly cash flow, but look at what that does to the property value. Now you guys are kind of actively running this like a co-working space, and you guys are the face of it. It's a lot of your network and that. So somebody else might not come in here and see it or be able to generate as much revenue from it as you will. But dude, you'll definitely get a premium on the property because of how awesome this is if you guys ever decided to sell it, or that revenue if you guys ever, whenever you look to refinance it, a lender will look at that as business income and rental revenue to the property, and you'll get a higher valuation, be able to pull out a little bit more of that $650,000 you guys have into it, and put a bigger loan on it, so that way it shows higher value. So
That's a tough one, man. I got to tell you, we got a 15-year straight amortized loan on this at 3.55%.
Oh, wow.
For our principal. So it's been our tough thing to be like, do we refinance, get our cash out? We're like, we can't. It's free money.
Dude, you got to slap. What I would do is I would just find some private money.
Yep.
$300,000, $400,000, in order to just kind of recap it and put that cash back in your pocket at 8 to 10%.
Yep.
And then they're not looking for a second mortgage. It's probably just personally guaranteed by you and the partners or something. But that way, your blended cost of capital on a few $100,000 versus your mortgage. What's your mortgage? 600 or something like that?
It's like 5 now, yeah.
Yeah. So your blended cost would then bumps up to whatever. If you had 8 and 3, and it's about half and half, you're probably around 5.5% interest rate without having to touch that one. and you're still in a good spot, right? And still able to recapitalize it. So
We just wanted to get it performing first, but that's
Yeah,
something that
for
we're going to
sure.
look into. Yeah, we've
For
talked
sure,
about a
man.
couple different avenues that way. We came up with a pretty cool strategic thing. Like, do we almost sell percentage of ownerships to people versus membership prices and all that? So there's kind
Like
of
the
some
golf
cool
courses,
ideas that
man.
were kind of like, thrown around to see what's the best avenue to go. We chose strictly just a monthly fee.
Well, you see that with golf courses. Like, you got a $3 million golf course, and they want 100 members at $30,000 a piece. And so you buy in for $30,000, and then you own, I don't know, just call it 1% of that golf course. You can always sell it back,
Yep.
and then get your $30,000 back. And if you sell it back in 10 years, and it's now worth $45,000, hey, you get 45 grand back, and you got to play free golf or whatever that looks like. You guys could definitely do that with the back part of this. You guys still keep the front part. Maybe you even like create 2 different entities or something, or you have like the back part. Yeah, I don't know if you could parcel it off or whatever, but yeah, dude, something like that where it's like, hey, instead of paying, I don't know, it's like $200 a month for
Yeah,
a corporate membership per
corporate
person,
membership,
right?
yep.
So that's what we have, and a couple of our team members are here. But say, hey, instead of paying $400 a month, $5 grand a year, if you guys, $15,000 you're buying into ownership, you get 3 years of revenue up front.
Yep.
I have an ownership feel to it, so I show up more, I promote it more, right? And it allows me now to, if I ever want to sell that membership or something like that, then I can always recoup my money. So
Yeah, we
I
could do a hybrid too. That
Yeah.
plus members. Yeah.
I think that's great.